to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
Let's do like an hour of this.
Is heavy breathing? I mean, it sells on the fucking internet. It's like, if it's not you, it's the wind.
Guess what? This is on the internet.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sad Dads Club Podcast, episode 341. I'm the Lord Foo.
And I'm Jim.
We have no idea if this will actually make the cut past the intro.
You know, the best part is that Chandler really likes it when you do the like tappity thing.
Tippity tappity?
Yeah, like when he's like, you know, when you're watching a TikTok and they're opening something and they're like tick, 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 with their fingernails like on the lid of the computer or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate that.
Oh, is he like the guy that watches those Mercedes?
I guess he gets fed those or something and he
Mercedes.
just does not like them. I don't know.
Lamborghini.
I've seen those.
Tacoma. Bam.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of cars,
Go.
Slate. Holy smokes, that's some cool shit.
I've seen a number of between the three of us, we've bounced around a couple, and then I think I spent maybe a week last week of getting YouTube stuff that got tossed into my way. The short form things that we were watching on like social media for me in that first week of shit.
Yeah.
Was
I mean, we haven't talked about this on the show.
Right. It was like promotional stuff, and it was kind of like hard to. I mean, cool idea, but
yeah,
but
it's a year and a half at least away.
I mean, I put it right up there with what was the international, the Scout stuff.
Yeah, that's
basically owned by Volkswagen.
Yeah,
it's the R1 Rivian stuff and underpinnings in a different fascia with more Volkswagen backing.
Right.
Cool stuff, but also can't get them right now anyway.
Right.
But the promotional materials and like the come on out and drive our tester units or whatever.
Yeah.
Look cool. People were all impressed. It was like, well, sure, but if I can't go buy one, then it looks neat. You did really good on your presentation.
I think the most promising part about Slate is the price. Right.
So did you actually see a price?
Yeah. It's supposed to be like 26, 27 right in there, and then under 20 grand with the federal tax credit.
Okay.
So 19 and change.
For
a new truck.
I'm saying what makes that hard for me is to what end are we going to continue to see the tax credit, though?
I know.
Right?
Yeah, that may not even be available in a year and a half.
Right. To bank on your product's price point, having a credit is almost like, whoa.
Well, I mean, to be fair, 27 grand is not a terrible starting price point at this point. At this stage of the game, let's be honest.
Well, there's no one there in a full EV form factor, is there?
No,
like a
under 30 grand.
What about is a Leaf hybrid at all? What is a Leaf at?
I think Leafs are in the upper mid 30s at least.
Is there a full blown EV
under 30 grand?
Under 30.
Not that I'm aware of. If there is, I would be surprised.
I'd have to punch and look around. I didn't know that the getting under 20 was predicated on the tax credit.
Yeah.
That's a fucking coin flip at this point.
Like, I know. It totally
someone's
is.
going to wake up on the wrong side of the bed and decide that we need, tax credits for diesels only because America. and we'll all be like, great, okay, so who's making
only the
these?
Cummins
Yeah,
can get the tax credit.
You know what? I saw a really good commercial. Well, he's not even close to fucking Southern. Yeah.
He's more closer to
I saw
idiot.
a real good commercial with the diesel. It was very American. It was very American. We should have tax credits for diesels. Can you make a small diesel? With like the toots? Fucking who knows?
I mean, speaking to that, I just heard today that he wants to rename the Persian Gulf to like the Gulf of Arabia or some shit like that. I don't know.
Dude.
Like, it's just like whatever whim thing he thinks of. That's what he...
Whatever commercial he just saw. You know what? Can I put an executive order in for that?
Yeah.
Fucking... They'll sue me, whatever.
But like I was saying, the thing about the Slate that's interesting, well, the couple things. The price, number one, but then also the promise of the modularity, I think, is pretty cool.
Yes.
Now, whether or not that translates into a non-creaky, well-functioning vehicle, I don't know. But at the price, it's pretty cool. If you just needed a small pickup, I mean, that's pretty cool. We're in a world where the Ford Maverick, well, I guess that was a Raptor version, was $40,000. Or the Tremor or whatever.
Oh, was it? Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was a Tremor.
Oh, okay.
The Tremor version of the Maverick was $40,000. So they're less than $40,000. So I don't know. I might.
See, I thought there was a Maverick, like the slim vanilla version,
like a 4-cylinder or 3-cylinder.
that
or something.
was just a hair.
Or was it even a
20.
hybrid?
But it wasn't. It wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't full EV either. It may have been the hybrid one.
Yeah, I think it's the hybrid, like 3-cylinder hybrid or something. But
yeah,
I mean, that's the problem with cars nowadays. They're just like I always thought when I was younger, I'd get older and I'd be making okay money. You could just go buy a car, you know?
Yeah.
But things have progressed. Like, I feel like I'm 18 again, where cars are just like just outside the reach of what you want to spend.
Yeah. And
it's kind of nutty. I mean, it's not that I can't afford it. I just don't want to spend that kind of money.
Yeah. I can't remember if we've seen that modularity promise somewhere else too, but I think as someone that's a tinkerer,
yeah,
as long as the underpinnings, the crash bars, and the NTSB safety, if all of that stuff checks out,
yeah,
and you're telling me that I can add a camper shell or take off a camper shell, I have places to bolt in safety rated seat belts if needed, add safety rated seats if needed. I can add fender flares made out of composites that have no relevance whatsoever to the crash safety, but could make it a wider stance, a thinner stance, a more streamlined stance for EV aerodynamic efficiency. Man,
stance look.
If you look at certainly some JDM cars, probably Ford F-150s because they're the most prominent thing. Huge Miatas. Miatas are 100% that way too. To be able to find aftermarket solutions for just about fucking anything, you would think at this point in time, with the advent of 2 different types of 3D printing in a home garage scenario, that the ability to create an automobile or a truck that could crank out aftermarket solutions to make it yours in whatever way is possible, but not alter its safety underpinnings. Why the fuck are we there yet? Like, what has happened? Like,
right.
Is it like what was that? what was the GM EV that was way ahead of its time that they canned it?
The EV1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
That they crushed them all.
yeah, car manufacturers don't want modularity because they want you going back to the supply, going back to the service center to get a new panel for your aluminum tailgate siding that's $3,500.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. And also it's integrated into the cab. So technically, well, shit, not possible. Or specialty tools kind of shit. It's like, man, where is that $15,000 to $25,000 car unit that allows us to do like the shit that I saw in Fiji where they added everything and anything to a fucking Prius,
Right.
and it was just like it was their own. It was just how you expressed yourself in your car.
Yeah.
You just slapped on a fucking spoiler or whatever, or fucking fake chrome vent outings. Like, what do you?
It's totally non-functional, but it's yours now.
But it's yours.
Yeah.
Like, to add on a body panel when, as long as it meets crash test safety regulations, let me add a pre-runner fender flare set. So that way I can get more clearance on my suspension.
Yeah.
Well,
the other thing that would be really cool that they haven't said, because the Slate is single motor, but if it was a dual motor setup, even better. You know what I mean?
Because I didn't poke around, the range is a little bit.
I think for the small battery,
was there any way to upgrade?
They have a battery upgrade that you can buy that gives you a bigger battery,
like near 200.
Oh, I think the small battery is supposed to give you 150.
I thought that was right,
and I think the bigger battery is a little over 200 or something.
I'd be fine.
Yeah.
I'd be a little bit cautious of buying into something that didn't have 200 at a minimum.
Yeah.
Like we can hit a $17,999 price point, but if I can only get 150 miles to the charge, I'll be like, God damn, I probably
you
always
just add a bunch of Milwaukee batteries to it, or DeWalt batteries, and then you're good
just
to go.
camper shell with solar panels on the top.
Yeah, sure. That's your spoiler, is the solar panel.
Right. Just super awesome. But it did remind me of like the late 70s, 80s, the hard bodies and the Tacomas.
Yeah, that shape is
the original small truck utility.
It also gave me the vibe of the Rivian R3 or whatever, the new little hatchbacky.
Oh, the Buzz Click. It's not out yet. The R3X.
Yeah, those. It had that sort of vibe to it because of the shape, the squareness of it, and that kind of stuff. And I like that style. I just think it looks cool, even with the shitty steelies that are on it and stuff, like the cheapest form.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool just like that.
I love the thought of having an opportunity to take something that is I'm showing my tax bracket, but to buy something that's theoretically under 20 and like min-maxing
and then make it 40.
Right. Yeah. And make it 40 and min-maxing it in a way like with like designs and tinkering and trying to lighten it in ways to get more out of the investment out of something that's like so small.
So would you be willing to write your own software for an in-dash infotainment?
I'd certainly give it a shot. Well, I mean, at some point, you could just put a fucking widescreen. I mean, an OLED screen with the Raspberry Pi under the dash, tethered to your phone.
I mean, they offer an iPad that has their software on.
Right, you're fucking done. I mean, and that I mean, we're just joking.
Yeah.
But to literally
yes.
Raspberry Pi Zero with an OLED screen tethered to your phone, we just came up with something that was probably ludicrously possible.
I mean, if you think about it, pretty much all the car manufacturers have like fucking Android running on those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's already a thing.
Yeah.
In most vehicles
just
nowadays.
Like fucking slap an Apple TV dongle or whatever into your dash with a display.
Yeah.
Mirror your phone to it. Run an invert, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's got so much promise.
It was like we were calling your son. Your son was like, "Oh, without a stereo." I'm like, "That's half the fucking fun right there."
To like have the blank slate, the blank slate,
dude.
To do your own shit and not have to worry about the fact that it's got this fucking infotainment system in here. How do I upgrade this with something way better? Well, you don't have to worry about any of that.
This is money that I'm going to have to waste because now I'll have to sell it on Facebook Marketplace because I'm going to put my own thing in here, or you're going to have to re-engineer to make your thing work with whatever you already paid. Fuck, dude.
It's a blank slate.
Dude, I'm going to put a giant OLED screen so I can display porn while driving.
Nice.
Think about that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it porn that you're filming while you're driving?
Roadhead in 4K.
Thanks, GoPro.
Yeah, that's a 360 Insta 360. Hashtag could be a sponsor.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Anyway, that's I think that's promising. We're like we said, we're at least a year and a half out because I think it was late 2026 is when they were saying it was going to be available. So we're at least a year and a half away from seeing that. But I thought that was really cool. I mean, it's very promising. It has the promising look of something fresh in the car market. We've never seen something like that, which I think is great. Well, at least not in modern times.
Not from a major car manufacturer.
No.
Which is unfortunate because you would think, I feel like
they get I feel like car manufacturers get pigeonholed all the time. They're afraid to bust away from the mold for fear of losing a whole bunch of money on something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, I almost have like a hot take, and that is as long as regulations and tax incentives make it advantageous to not move your needle, you don't.
Right.
And when you're that big, you don't fuck with the margins. You just stay the course.
You go with
certainly when you have
the safe bet.
Right.
Yeah.
When you have administrations that are going to go from complete polar sides of the spectrum on whether or not EVs are the go forward future of the nation and the infrastructure involved, well, we're still making gas. So we'll stay here because all of those things at corporate juggernaut enterprise manufacturing at that size to toss money to R&D is a huge as a publicly traded institution. Those are huge moves. Those are huge commitments. So until you get or you just like move the needle on your own, why would you? I'm still making cash.
I mean, aside from the shapes of cars and some technological advances under the hood like ABS and things like that, cars are the same that they were in 1920 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no difference really other than the size of the wheels and tires and the fucking motors and the efficiency, right? Mm. Everything's the same. All the principles of an engine and gas-powered anythings is the same as it was when it started. There's no difference. What we haven't seen is someone really break the mold to do something really new and innovative because It's because of money.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, yes.
It's all about money.
100%.
So
We were in this place with my dad probably 2 weeks ago or so. I've been fiddle fucking with trying to get him an Apple CarPlay
capable deck. Yeah.
deck in his car.
Yeah.
And there is because of it's not the orientation of his dash, it's that the all-in-wonder climate control system requires a third-party like bridger to translate.
Is this in the Fusion?
Yes, to translate. And my car needed it, and Data's Ranger needed it too, like a DSP.
Yeah,
that like jumps in between to make existing or factory controls work with something else.
So he doesn't have separate controls for his like climate stuff?
He does, but it's in a dash bezel that also ties in the audio controls.
So it's plasticized to everything.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
So it's an all-in-one fucking beep bop.
So Metro doesn't make any kits for that?
It does.
Oh.
But it is
less than ideal.
It's less than ideal. It was the first It was the first time that in trying to get this out the door for my father, I have nothing but generally positive experiences.
So you lost your shit
with Crutchfield.
Is that what you're telling me?
But in the expediency of getting my dad, bring the car down on a Friday, and I'll put it in the deck, and we'll swap out the shit, and then get you out the door.
It's never that easy.
It is the same. It is the same Metra solution, and the same deck that I put in the Escape. While it's Metra, the make it work with the Fusion was different. I opted at the time of checkout with Crutchfield to build the harness.
Oh,
you build the harness.
Right.
It was $25. It was not.
Oh, that's not bad.
It wasn't.
No.
And for what I thought was the time savings, I was like, "Fuck, $25? Sure." I have had my dad down here on 2 Fridays to try and do this sequencing of you unplug this, you plug this thing in, then you plug in the Access Metra doodad translator, then the harness that Crutchfield made.
So you don't lose like steering wheel controls and shit like that.
All that stuff. But more importantly, because your new bezel has a completely separated climate control set of dials and touch doodads, that there's some translator DSP type of shit that needs to happen. I have tried to make this thing work twice, and the second time I had wiring. I went through every little fucking wiring harness diagram. Yeah, this is good, and I've been pretty much left to. I should have just built the harness myself.
Yeah.
So, where was I going with that? Crutchfield. Shit.
I've never had that happen before. All the time.
So it's been super frustrating to have this. I'm just trying to get this thing dialed in. What were we talking about before the Crutchfield?
Integrated stereo radio.
Tremor. It's become just increasingly complicated.
Yeah.
To try and. I just want to do that thing.
Yeah.
Like, why is it so?
You were frustrated.
Here's where it was. So, in trying to get this oriented with Dad, it was like, well, I want you to have this. I don't want you to be using your phone in any way. He doesn't use a dock for his phone.
Yeah.
He'll get somewhere, and then he'll grab his phone and look at the maps, and then he'll chuck his phone back into his cup holder.
No, sir, don't do that.
Right. When he was down here on the second time, he flat out mentioned that he was like getting the Fusion is a sedan.
Yeah.
So getting that low and getting in and out of it with his leg hardware that he has from the tractor, he said it's starting to get a little difficult.
Should be easy with all the Bionicles.
Oh, right, you would think if he
Yeah.
had like hydraulics.
He would just like move his leg and it go. Yeah. Yeah.
transform.
Maybe
No.
he needs like a tractor on his leg.
Hey, you know,
That might help.
what's the hydraulics? He said it was getting harder for him to get
Yeah.
in and out of the Fusion. I'm like, oh, do you need the truck back? And he's like, no, that's fine. But then he was like, if the truck is parked with the high side, it's a thing to get up into the truck
Yeah.
because the truck is a
He's
heavy
like,
duty.
you did notice the battery was dead when you picked it up.
Right.
Right.
Like you weren't really using the truck either. That don't fucking- So I put him like in, and he likes the height of Venus's crosstrack.
Oh, yeah.
Like he likes that height. It's it may not be a size because he's a bigger guy for him, but he does like the height that he doesn't have to jump up into it or get a shoehorn up into it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to fall into it, kind of like the Fusion.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't have to figure out how he's going to jack himself out of the Fusion.
Yeah.
So I went looking for cross-trek height type of solutions.
You just put a lift kit on it.
Right, just lift the Fusion.
Bag it,
Yeah.
and then he can lift it just
and
with
then
the key to get in,
He
and
was
he can put it back down at right height.
talking about how he's like, man, I didn't realize, living on a dirt road, I shouldn't have gotten a fucking like car. I should have got something a little bit taller.
You mean like a Dodge pickup?
Yeah, like pickup. So I went through and I'm like, hey man, as you look at here are like, I don't know what your car timeline solutions are, but when you start looking for new stuff, like here are some things.
Volkswagen Bug,
Right.
a 73.
A Beetle or a Carmen Ghia
Yep.
just dropped. like-
or Squareback.
Just dropped.
Yeah.
Like,
Or microbus.
yeah. No bags, just dropped. Just scrape that shit all the way up the driveway. It turns out Venus's dad is kind of like in the same spot.
I feel bad because Raj has problems getting in and out of my car. Like every time he wants to get in, it's like, oh, all right, and I got to help him get in.
Yeah.
And then when he wants to get out, I got to help him get out. I'm like, sorry, dude.
Yeah, like a prom date.
Yeah.
Venus's dad is pretty much in the same spot.
Yeah.
Like he has trucks, and all he's really known is trucks for his like personal stuff because of his business. They do own a roadster Lexus, but for the most part, his dailies are trucks, which he no longer really has a need to have something with the bed. But
Does he not want a truck anymore?
I think he's looking at the future. Like he doesn't like the gas mileage. He doesn't like the gas mileage. They do have timeshares in Tahoe, so they do need something with all-wheel drive all the time or four-wheel drive potentially, on a push button or lever. Who the fuck what it is now? I don't know.
Suburban.
They had a super sport Tahoe that was, but it always got broken into. So
Terrible mileage.
he's in the same space.
Yeah.
But he told Venus on, I think it was Sunday, hey, what do you know about Rivians? And I'm like, oh,
Motherfucker.
well, here we go. now we're talking,
Yes. The answer is yes.
But yeah, right. But I'm like,
Here's what I know. Yes.
the R1Ts and the R1Ss are, what he doesn't have a need for the truck. So
Sure.
he doesn't have the need.
But they're pricey.
And they're pricey.
Yeah.
The R1S is a bigger thing than he needs now too. Like he needs
to wait for the
R2 series. Yeah. Which is
the smaller
out a ways.
Yeah.
The R3 is the fucking super
Hatchbacky.
hotness hatchback that
Yeah.
if I had 6 lucky numbers, I'd already be anyway.
Yeah. I like those.
But he will be like if and Venus told him she was like, oh well, fucking if you like those, yeah, you need to talk to Jay because
Jay also likes
right.
those.
If there's an EV that I were to be purchasing for personal use,
Yeah.
I would certainly be waiting for the R2 line because they're going to be smaller.
Yeah.
They're going to have all of the iterations of what is now they're on the second iterations of the R1 stuff. They're building them in Normal, Illinois, so they're U.S. built.
Yep.
But the R2s will be a lower price point.
Yeah.
Not under 20,
No.
but they'll be lower footprint as far as wheelbase and size. But all of the
capability.
the capabilities of the stuff that they've learned off the R1 series. I have high hopes.
From a shipping vehicle standpoint, the Rivian to me is the most desirable.
I would agree.
For sure. I think their approach and perceived quality is all there.
Mm-hmm. I like their software.
Yeah.
Like everything I've read about their software, how they do their updates, how they do their the management, their I'm going to say CAN system for the car.
Yeah.
Their aftermarket stuff is pricey.
Yeah.
But it's there. Like there are solutions that they're trying to prop up. They have their own, like, I'm going to say boutique charging network, but they also have buy-in to the super Teslas. So you can use the best, what is not theirs, but you could use the best charging network. I'm like,
yeah.
But that's down the road. 1 to 2 years still.
Chandler was having his wheels put on his truck.
Yeah.
Next door to CarMax at the America's Tire. And they had a couple of Rivians, and we were sitting in them just playing with the software. Fuck. They're impressive.
Oh, at CarMax?
Yeah. Very impressive.
Yeah.
They had a Cybertruck. I didn't even want to look at it.
I don't care.
Yeah, it has zero appeal to me.
Yeah.
It's a rolling dumpster. Like, forget it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Chandler's like, come on, let's look. I'm like, fine. I don't want to. I have no interest in it.
I could
whatsoever.
put a mirror between my legs and look at my asshole, but I don't because I have no interest in doing
I don't want to do that.
The same with the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
It's like looking at my asshole.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Yeah. So,
I said that, by the way. Not a sponsor, Tesla.
And don't want to be.
Yeah. Ulanzi does all my EV. So it's interesting to have parents.
Yeah.
Does he have problems getting in the minivan?
Raj?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think?
I don't believe so.
So both of my in-law side are starting to look at seating convenience and shrinking down size.
Yeah.
Certainly, I would prefer that my dad had an all-wheel drive solution. If he tells me, just pick something, I would put him in an all-wheel drive. But he would be fined. He would be fine in front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Venus's dad, because of their timeshares up the hill, they need a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive.
Something with 4-low, probably.
Yeah, solution.
Yeah.
Like almost out of the box.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's the reason why Chandler didn't want to go with the Honda Ridgeline.
Oh.
When he bought the Ranger was because it doesn't have like real 4-wheel drive.
Real 4-wheel drive. Yeah.
He now says that he believes his next truck would be a Ridgeline.
Like a newer one? Or
I don't
he
know.
would just say, well, we've seen what is the last 3 years or so, the Passport as well as the Pilot with their Trail Sport package.
Yeah.
There is some crazy advanced shit.
Yeah.
Where if you're not a wheeler, 4-low may be something that you could probably pass on.
Right.
If it meant some of however fucking Honda or Toyota is doing their all-wheel drive algorithm fucking software shenanigans, where you put good tires on it and you let the beep boops and the digital confinators do the thing, and you're going to be fine going up and down the hill.
Oh, for sure.
If you're going to go fucking
more than anything,
doing
it's
donuts
tires.
in mud bog, or you're going to go crawling somewhere, well then, those things aren't for you.
I think more than anything, it's the tires that are going to make the difference in those.
Probably.
Yeah. So, and I am not I've never really been much of a truck guy, but I really like the Ridgeline quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do like the new Passport a lot.
I like that size too.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit big for either of my in-law or my dad.
Yeah.
But that Trail Sport is no joke.
That Trail Sport package is pretty cool. Yeah. They're pricey. But...
If a fucking Trail Hunter 4Runner wasn't up at fucking $70K, $80K, I'd be eyeballing that just as much as I would the Honda, because in a SUV, I probably don't necessarily need the 4-low thing. But if I was getting a truck, I would need 4-wheel drive with 4-low.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of pretentious about that. It's probably less of a actual need than more of a this is what I want,
right?
Kind of a thing.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Go.
How's your week off been? Because it's now been a week and a day.
Yes, 1 week and 1 day.
How's that last week been doing for you?
I finished reading and
you know how to read
and submitting all of the required documentation by Friday. After processing it also with the other head of the household. Friday of last week was the sign here, dotted line.
Oh, really?
That I did that.
Okay.
So Friday of last week was kind of my
official
nail in the coffin kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now I am waiting on a box to ship parts back.
Oh, like computers and stuff.
But that was tied to my manager, so it sounds like I'm gonna have to send something. Like, hey man, I'm just trying to.
How do you do? You have his email address?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess you would.
Right.
Sure.
I have his phone number. I spent.
You didn't take and smash everything with a sledge.
Yeah, right. And really, Friday was kind of like the end, here's the end.
Yeah.
I on Tuesday evening when we told the kids, I bought a box of cherry Pop-Tarts, and I said, this represents the first snack thing that I got when I got hired in 98.
Yeah.
And this is my celebratory, we're at the end here. So
bookends.
If anyone, I think I finished the Pop-Tarts by Friday as well. And it was kind of like, oh, okay. I think this Friday will be the first. I'm curious to see how the paycheck thing orients. I am I'm apprehensive. Like, what does it look like? How's this going to work?
I mean, I would assume it would just be
normal
direct deposit,
but I don't know.
Day.
But I don't know because I have not seen. I did get a number of towards that tail end of the week, a couple people like, "Hey, your email address did the designation for when you're no longer employed with the enterprise." Sucks. I didn't know, or hey man, I reached out to do this thing and no one's responded. I'm like, fucking sucks.
And they won't.
I know. I was still getting pages up until Friday as
Oh,
well.
that's funny.
And it was just kind of like, I mean, I'll dial in if you want, but
I mean, it seems like you should just be shutting that phone off.
Yeah, but it's not going to get you the kind of response time that you want. Hey, motherfuckers, what's up? I'm responding to the Unix page. What's the fucking haps? You want me to reboot it?
Yeah.
Fucking okay.
Now, I expect my point is that I expected you to take a couple of days and maybe play Destiny for a couple of days, or I don't know.
I thought
go ride your motorcycle a bunch.
I did ride my motorcycle on Sunday. I guess I thought I would sleep in.
But that's not happening.
And I shut off all my alarms.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. Like the body clock is the body clock. So, that,
that would take a while.
6:30, 6:40 came around and I'm like, what do I do? I'm like, I guess I'll try and lay back down. But then Venus gets up 15 minutes later. So she's like, oh.
You can just doom scroll on your phone. That's what I would do.
Let's see. Friday. Dad stopped by on Thursday, because he had games Friday. And it was like I had a laundry list of shit. I'm like, so we've ordered a canopy, and you need a canopy for the tractor. You want me to come up Monday? Because I got time.
Yeah.
I could put it up Monday. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right. So Monday I'm booked.
He's like, wait, this is real, right?
Yeah. So Monday I went up there.
Nice.
Sunday was I rode the bike.
Yeah.
Okay, that's its own story because of the wind. Tuesday, Xander needed to get his permit right after school, so I took him over to Roseville D&B on his second pass at getting his driver's permit, and he passed. Fantastic.
Nice.
So he's got his permit now. But those things wouldn't have been possible at this truncated timeline without being tanked.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good job. I've Venus ordered. I mean, we're kind of already on this timeline, which is funny with your son with his pergola. A shit Rubbermaid-ish shit thing for my barbecue pellets, barbecue spices, things to sit in the overhang next to my barbecue.
Yeah.
So you're not staring at all of my pieces and parts. I built that, put that together. Then she was like, we need something because your shovels, kind of like how my rock piles, my shovels, my rakes, they
migrate around.
They just migrate around. And my drip my misters, fittings, drip and irrigation parts, now that we have a garden, are like all scattered around in like little bins that I know where they're at.
Sure.
And the trowels and garden gloves and little scoops and shovels and blah, 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 blah. They're all in little locations, of which I'm very familiar with, but is
of no consequence to anyone else.
Of no use to anyone else, which is probably why no one else goes outside and does yard work. So she got another slightly bigger thing for me to put garden stuff, irrigation stuff, mister stuff in a nice located, coordinated spot.
Yeah.
Then she got a galvanized 8. I think it's 9x12, but it's really probably more like 8x10 once built.
Yeah.
Thing for the pad, the RV pad, where I can put like tools and little things
like a motor.
Yeah. Weed eaters, lawnmowers, stuff to get out from underneath the canopy.
And you're like, why didn't I do this before?
She got a job.
And you did it.
And I lost mine. That's fucking amazing. I like how this works.
Yeah, except you're still getting paid.
Yeah, fucking this is great.
Yeah.
To get stuff out of the canopy so that way if I ever want to work on the Z, there's space there.
Yeah.
Also, I had jettisoned a Raptor, so there's space there. So the yard stuff that's not in the go-to thing over by the garden is now under something that's not next to a car that I have to dodge.
Yeah.
So yard tools, carpentry tools, shit like that can go in this galvanized thing that I just finished the other day. And then that has freed up space to clear the Z canopy and what will eventually be the canopy that's going to go over Meemaw, so that I can start working on Meemaw.
Nice.
It's a lot of organization that has, regardless of my employment status, has like culminated in, her employment, my employment, and the kids starting to, or at least Piper, starting to fund her own stuff, where it was like, okay, there's a little bit of extra money here. Let's start getting more space in the garage, locating and orientating.
Let's get rid of this podcast.
Yeah. Yes. There's fucking more room for the studio. And put stuff like, locate it in a
usable space.
Usable space.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Protected.
Meemaw can't be worked on in the open air. So if I need to get that ball rolling, I have to put it under a thing.
Yeah.
So the stall here has always been, well, yeah, but there's so much stuff on the pad, and then how do you get the... So that, we're there. Also, the time involved in that stuff.
That's cool.
Been
busy.
Yeah.
And
then, it's a funny thing with your son with like his, pergola.
Well,
and then I went up to Dad's and put his canopy up Monday.
He was just fucking with you.
Well, of course he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he gave me no help.
Well, I mean, Sunday he was like, hey, you want to go look at patio covers with me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, sure.
Did you get a good deal?
Didn't expect to like him buying one. I just thought we were going to go look at something.
Yeah.
Sam's Club, Lowe's, Home Depot, and Costco.
Yeah.
And he hates Costco.
Really?
He fucking hates Costco. There's a story there, but we hit all the places, and he hates Costco. He mentioned going there. I didn't even bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up because he hates it.
Right.
So he wants, and I know they had one there. I'm not going to say shit.
Right.
And he's like, I want to go to Costco, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't know if you've been in Costco or Sam's recently, but they always have those nice big pergola patio covers.
Yeah, I think that's the one we have, or we have a Costco one over the barbecue Chilaza.
So we the one at Sam's was real nice. It was like a 10 by 12.
Mm-hmm.
$1,500.
Yeah.
And then Lowe's and Home Depot really didn't have anything. So we went to Costco, and they had a 14 by 12.
Oh, shit.
For the same price as Sam's. And they're the nice, like, wood ones that you got to build.
Yeah.
And they came in 3 giant fucking boxes that we had to... First of all, they didn't have any more at our Costco. So we had to come back to his house and pick up the trailer and go to the Citrus Heights Costco and load it on the trailer and then tow it home. And so Sunday afternoon, early evening, we started working on putting it together. First, we had to move all the shit, open the boxes, move all the pieces, and those boxes are way too heavy for us to move.
Yeah.
Move all the stuff into the backyard and then start building. And it is a 56 or 57 page instructional guide that tells you, and there are thousands of parts. And so we spent several hours Sunday and then went back Monday, and I was there last night.
Yeah.
And we got as far as we got the 4 posts up, and it's not like we're working on like we've been doing this for 8 hours a day for 3. No, it's only a few hours each day. I mean, I was working Monday and Tuesday,
right?
So it was after hours, and So we got the 4 posts up, and when we left last night, we had the roof pieces built, but the roofing needed to go on the pieces, and then they had to then go up on the roof.
So is it an enclosed roof?
Yeah, it's like a metal.
Oh,
it's a real nice.
Yeah.
It's a real nice unit. It was $1,600 with taxes.
Yeah,
out the door. I was like, fuck, that's a lot of dough.
Pergola.
Yeah. So that's what we've been doing, and because of all that, I haven't even really had a chance to ride my fucking bike or anything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So that's been a challenge. But yeah, so today he sent a picture to Shan that he was putting roofing pieces on all the roofing pieces, like the actual roofing material on the roofing truss. Is that what they're called? I don't know. Whatever those are.
Yeah.
And so he'll probably need some help to get those up there because it's a pretty tall unit too. But yeah, a challenge. Definitely a challenge.
Did the wind fuck you with trying to do whatever you were doing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
No, I think by the time, I think Monday we still had a little bit of wind, but it didn't really impede us.
Venus and I started putting the galvanized, it's not galvanized, it's like aluminum or steel coated shed thing on the pad itself. Sunday
was terrible,
and it was fucking brutal.
Yeah,
like, well, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
like, and she got it from Wayfair, which is like, and now I'm realizing it's just like slightly middle class Temu kind of thing. But it was,
kinda, yeah.
It was an amazing deal.
Yeah.
But like the wafer thin of the metal sheeting that's like represents the sides.
Yeah.
I'm like, the way that
paper mache.
Yeah, the way that this thing sequences together, you've got like a shell of the walls go up before the roof goes on. I'm like, if I were to screw these things down here on the bottom of the floor, this thing will fold over at the screw lines, and then the metal is fucking toast.
Yeah.
So it was me trying to dodge.
So you're holding up pieces so they don't get flopped over.
I could have built this solo.
Yeah.
But with that wind, there was no way that it was no way that it was going to be possible.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking, like, I would just like to be done with it.
Oh, yeah.
But the wind Sunday, today was even today it like
a little breezy.
Picked back up again.
Yeah.
Off the chain.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, man. Yeah. And then I think it heats up tomorrow and or the rest of the week. But that's because the wind dies. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
But
I'd rather have the breeze than the heat.
I would have it. I'll pop a fucking Allegra and deal with the wind than I will like a stagnant heat.
Yeah.
Because it's May.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw 90s.
Yes.
So I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But so I was dodging the wind, trying to get the roof and the enclosure of this fucking. Finally did I do it, but it was the wind has absolutely just been intense. Like, what the fuck is it? Where is it coming from? The motorcycle ride I went on Sunday.
Couldn't ride a straight line.
You look like a kite. You're just like off kilter. And then Venus and I had to work out Sunday evening. And so when you're riding your motorcycle and you're like fighting, like your core is fighting.
Yeah.
To then hours later have to do, an hour and a half of exercise. I was fucking shot.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember. Maybe it's because I don't get out much. Like the wind this year seems to be.
Seems like we've had more
up.
Yeah, we've had more wind than
higher
normal.
Frequency of high wind days this year than what I recall in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Yes,
I would agree.
You think
with
so?
That. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I got branches snapped all over. The shit's ending up in the pool.
Yeah. I mean,
know?
it's been like, yeah. I mean, you'll leave here and there are tree branches and twigs in the gutters on off to the side.
Yeah.
Where the last couple days of wind has been just crazy.
Took a bike ride today, lunchtime.
Yeah.
Tons of just twigs and shit all over the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Everywhere. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 You know.
Did you do that before or after Mac's walk?
I take him for a walk and then I go
And
for a
then you
ride.
go back out?
Yeah. Here's some treats, buddy. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Put him on one of those little carriers.
Now I saw something funny. A guy, I happened to be out front like mowing and shit. Guy, see him out of the corner of my eye. He's riding his bike and he is running his dog. And as he comes right in the front of the house, the dog's like stopping. And he's all, oh, and he almost just fucking wrecks.
Oh.
And turns out the dog had to shit and just puckered up right there in the middle of the street and took a shit right there.
Oh.
The dog was just like, I can't run, Dookie. I got a Dookie.
It's time to shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude almost wrecked. And it was a big dog. So, yeah, that would have been like an anchor.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that's a funny story.
Shit dog.
Yeah.
So you like the bike?
Oh, love
Did
it.
you go ride? So you didn't
Love that
go
bike.
ride anything?
I haven't done anything
outside
special.
the street.
No, I'm still, working on conditioning.
Yeah.
I think the ride I've been doing is about 3 miles. Takes me about 17 minutes.
Yeah.
But by the time I get home, my legs feel like shaky jello.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I put a dropper seat post on it on Saturday.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That changes it. That changes the game quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, and also not just from like a standpoint of like trying to climb hills or trying to go downhill,
Mm-hmm.
but of just like while you're riding, being able to change your comfort in an instant.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So how do your legs feel?
They feel fine.
Do they?
They're just not used to getting that much use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Venus and I, we're on week 3 of like a exercise thing that like accelerates a set every week.
Uh-huh.
And we've, I think for 2 weeks we get done, and then the next day and the next day after that, we're just like, I hurt.
Oh yeah.
All over.
Yeah.
But it's kind of to your point of like, all of a sudden, just kind of light goes on. Like if you're not using it, it's going to
You're
start
losing it.
It's going to start atrophying.
Yeah.
And while we've long missed the boat of summer bodies, I am 100% in a headspace of I just flat out feel better when I use everything in the body.
Sure.
Like whether it's a weekend of yard work where I put in good time, or it's a 3 days a week where we're doing an exercise in here that's running 60 minutes or longer, where we're lifting full body weights or exercises in some form or fashion. When the wind isn't making both of us snore like lumberjacks.
Yeah.
I was telling Venus just the other day, my body hurts because I'm doing hard exercise.
Oh yeah.
I have not, after we've talked about this at length. Like trying to sleep without a dog in the bed after 20 years has like created its own set of like patterns and how you get sound sleep. But when you also couple that with, well, I've also gotten older and I'm kind of walking off a bunch of like the exercise that I would do passively with like, because I was a younger person. My exercise regimen aside with Xander, I started to do less physical stuff. And then the dog wasn't there. So my sleep kind of just felt not quality. It was like I was not getting good sleep. When decide, when I can breathe, being physically exhausted has been some of the best sleep where my body's like, I'm shutting down. Your muscles are tired. It needs to rest. And when I get to sleep, it is good, sound sleep. I'm not tossing. I'm not turning. Or if I am, I don't know it because my brain is fucking just flat out exhausted.
Yeah.
She is, I wouldn't speak too far for her, but when we talked about it loosely, when she is not snoring like a lumberjack, she sleeps the same way.
Yeah.
And her body is just as toast as mine.
Yeah.
Like, we get done working out, things hurt.
Yeah.
She squats, kettlebell swings and whatnot. Her legs hurt.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, how has sleep been for you relative to your 2 weeks of biking?
I had one night where I woke up at 3:15 to go to the bathroom and then didn't go back to sleep for a few hours.
Yeah.
That was a really rough day.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like if I go to bed and I'm tired, then I just sleep.
Do you?
Okay. Yeah, I sleep. I typically sleep pretty good. There are times where I'll wake up pre-alarm.
Yeah.
And then can't get back to sleep. Like, oh, I know I need to get up in an hour. And then the mind starts going, and then I don't relax enough to go back to sleep. But I notice, like, I get soreness in my ankles and my knees.
Yeah.
More than I ever would have used to.
Yeah. Since biking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that is, the legs are a little bit sore, too.
I mean, there's going to be conditioning,
yes.
too. Like, when was the last time you actually put time?
It's been a couple of years.
Right.
Since we were doing the gym all the time.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm going to do the thing.
Right. Yes.
That's it. And if I can, sometimes I'll sneak in, I'll do a lunchtime, like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. And then I'll sometimes try and sneak out in the evening and go around the block in the evening too.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm really tired when I get
Do
back.
the girls ever come with you on any of the...
They are not bike riders.
Will they walk, though?
That's hard for me
Right.
because they're poking around. But yeah, we have done a couple of those.
Yeah. The last... Well, I mean, Venus, I think probably in the last month or so has been like really like, no, I want to do something. Like, I don't...
That's how I sort of have been.
Right.
Yeah.
She has been Mother's Day and her birthday, like, play hardball with trying to plan exercises because you're like, it's my birthday and I want to have a thing and I don't want to work out for an hour and a half kind of thing. And Mother's Day is the same way. I'm like, well, we can skip something. And she's like, I don't want to skip. I don't, She's been playing hardball. She's like, well, I'll give you a trade. We can run a thing. We can do a substitute on Monday and do a substitute on Wednesday so that you don't have to do anything on Tuesday. And Mother's Day, we can move that around, but that means we have to work out on Saturday. She's like, okay, let's do that thing. We've been pretty hard. She's kept. It's like, I feed you, you feed me.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to see her drive.
Symbiotic.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's had a lot of drive in the last month or so to like, no, I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I want to be better.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Regardless of how that translates to body size, she's, I've said it a number of times on here. Like, you can't get to the end down there if you're not taking care of your body. And the only way to start taking care of your body is to make sure that you're eating well.
Is just to do it.
And to do it.
Yeah.
Do the stuff.
Just do. Where do they come up with that?
Yeah, fucking nice.
Just do it?
Who'd they pay off for that slogan?
Wow.
Fucking amazing. Wow. We're at time, buddy.
Just like that.
Just like that.
All right. Well, to all of you in the Gulf of Mexico.
You should be sure to return the card.
Should wash your ass.
Wash your hands.
Check your oil, Tony.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Make the call if you need to.
Register to vote and vote.
Do the kindness.
Pick up a broom, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate it.
Bye.